Good day, and thank you for tuning in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. For all of our new listeners and viewers who are tuning in for the very first time, I'm Pastor Pope, and thank you for allowing us to come into your listening and viewing environment. We are here with you every Monday through Friday from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, broadcasting live from the FijiWater.com sponsored studio, where you can discuss careers, finances, entrepreneurship. You can discuss marriage, divorce, raising children, blending families. You can discuss dating and relationships. Whatever's in your heart, whatever's on your mind, God is concerned about that which concerns you. And that is the reason that we are here with you every Monday through Friday from 12 p.m. until 1 p.m. or until from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And right now I have to tell you, with all that's been going on, I know during the summer we did as many hour broadcasts as we possibly can. We will still do them from time to time, but right now it looks like we are on a 12:30 to 1 p.m. schedule Eastern Daylight Time. So set your clocks, tune in wherever you are across the U.S., wherever you are around the globe, right here in 3D, where you can discuss careers, finances, entrepreneurship. You can discuss marriage, divorce, raising children, blending families. You can discuss dating and relationships. Whatever's in your heart, whatever's on your mind, God is concerned about that which concerns you, and that is the reason that we are here with you in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast, which is brought to you daily by Fiji Water, Earth's finest water. You may already know that Fiji water comes from Fiji. However, did you know that it is created by nature? It is untouched by man. It starts as a tropical rainfall which slowly filters through layers of volcanic rock, where the water collects in a natural, sustainable artesian aquifer, where it is bottled right at the source, free from human contact until you unscrew the blue cap. Fiji Water, Earth's finest water, will be delivered right to your front door when you subscribe for delivery, and you will save money at FijiWater.com. This is not just ordinary water. This is Earth's finest water at FijiWater.com. And for those of you who continue giving on the Give segment of our app at New Life-Delaware, and those of you that have made a weekly or monthly commitment to support the broadcast by giving on the contribution pages of our websites at NewLifeMinistriesInternational.com and NewLifeInternationalCDC.com, and those of you who use the QR code or the links provided on Facebook and YouTube. And we now have Zelle available at the T-Mobile caller text line at 267-992-1424. So you can support by going to Zelle, downloading the app, or through your bank if your bank is already connected with Zelle, and you can support the broadcast at 267-992-1424, which is the T-Mobile caller text line. And I want to say to all of our listeners and viewers, we thank all of you for your commitment and for your support as we fulfill our commitment to God to be here for you in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. So, just so you know, we are continuing our FijiWater.com sponsor promo. So all you have to do is go to our internet radio station, WKAPFaith.com. When you go to WKAPFaith.com, the first three songs you hear at 11 a.m. or at 6 p.m. list those three songs, text them along with your name and your email address to the T-Mobile caller text line at 267-992-1424. We will select one of our listeners and viewers to receive a case of Earth's finest water from FijiWater.com. Every month, someone will receive a case of Earth's finest water from FijiWater.com. I'm going to address a communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that you have a great amount of tension in your family, and you say you will be spending time with your family during the holidays. And you want to know, what can you do to ensure the holidays do not stress you out? So, first of all, let me say this to you. When there's tension among families, okay, let's be clear on something. None of us get to choose our families. We are assigned a family by God for whatever reason. We have to find out what our role is in that family and how we're going to deal with that family. or if we're going to deal with that family. But we all are assigned a family. And whether it's biological, blended, adoptive, whatever it may be, we're all assigned a family. And sometimes your family, I was communicating with someone who was brought up in an orphanage. And sometimes the family is the people in the orphanage. But families have a lot of different dynamics. And when there's family tension, the one thing you don't want to do to keep your stress level low or eliminate your stress level is simply to not get involved in what everyone else is getting involved in. What does that look like for you? So, listen, when people raise topics that create additional tension, stay away from those topics. I'm not suggesting that you stick your head in the sand like an ostrich and bury your head. What I am suggesting is you just simply do not get involved. Don't feel the necessity to be heard in topics that are going to stress you out. If someone tries to include you in that topic, simply tell them that that is not a topic that you're interested in addressing or discussing. It has nothing to do with your personal life. And because it has nothing to do with your personal life, because it has no impact on your personal life whatsoever, you need to stay out of that discussion. It's not anything that's going to add any value to your life to participate in that discussion. One of the things that I will share with you from a personal perspective is that I don't get involved with family matters that have nothing to do with my everyday life. I don't get involved in family matters that are not going to enhance the quality of my life. I don't get involved in family matters because I understand that God is doing something in all of our lives. He's not done with any of us if we're still here. So consequently, I just choose not to get involved. My only involvement is going to be to pray for folks. I encourage you to do the same. Now, if it's, and I've said this before to all of our listeners and viewers, if it's a family matter where it is family illness, we all have immediate families and then we all have external family. I'm going to get involved if it's in my immediate family, even though it may not be in my household. My children are grown, thank God, and they are on their own living their lives. If they need me, they know where to find me. As my daughter often says, either at church or at home. They know where to find me. If they need me, I'm a phone call away. I'm a phone call or a text away. If they need me. I'm not talking about just wanting me to do something. I'm talking about if they need me. Now, if they want me to do something, I have a choice. I can either say I'm going to get involved or I'm not going to get involved. And if I'm not going to get involved, it's generally, I like them to have the things they want in life, but I also know they're working for those things. And I also know that God is doing something in their lives. So I'm always going to make certain that they have what they need. I'm not always going to interfere with what they want because it may not be good for them. But I get to make that choice. You get to make that choice also, whether it's in your immediate household or whether it's in your external family. But if it's their health, I'm involved. I'm going to get involved. If they tell me what's going on in their life with regard to their health, or if God reveals something to me, I'm going to get involved. Other than that, I know God's doing something in their lives also. So you don't want to interfere with what God is doing in the life of others. Now, some of your family tension is just based on the fact that everyone in your family maybe not everyone, but the majority of your family has the tendency to want to be heard. Now you might say, well, Pastor, everyone wants to be heard. Well, not all the time. You have family members that want to be heard all the time. They want to be on display. They want to be heard in every matter. Why would you participate? That will certainly reduce your stress and eliminate some of it. Don't allow the holidays to stress you out. And here's the good news. You always go to family members' homes for holidays. You get to pick and choose whose home you're going to go to. The holidays should not stress us out. We've allowed the holidays to stress us out, whether it is with dealing with family members or whether it is gift giving. We've allowed the holidays to become a stressful season. And it doesn't have to be. So the way that you ensure that is don't stress yourself out about gift giving. Don't stress yourself out about getting involved in family conflict. Don't stress yourself out about getting involved in family discussions. Pick and choose what you're going to do and what you're not going to do. And whoever doesn't like it, doesn't like it. But that'll be their stress, not your stress. You don't have to get involved in the tension that's going on in your family. And, some of the topics that are causing dissension or tension within your family are topics that really have nothing to do with you. You're not the problem. Some of them are, but you're not the problem. Don't allow their problems to become your problems. And then, even when you go to certain families' homes because you feel the need to go there, you get to decide when you leave. And this is for all of our listeners and viewers. Unless you're hosting Thanksgiving, and the good news is if you're hosting Thanksgiving, you don't have to put up with the nonsense in your home. You get to tell everyone, we don't do that here. We don't live that way here because it's your home. Anyone who doesn't like it can take their plate and go. And I know some of you are going to say, Pastor, you sound a little cynical. You really, no, I'm just being honest. You have certain standards in your home. If people don't want to adhere to those standards or live by those standards, they can take a plate and go. And when you go to someone else's home, guess what? You get to decide when you leave. Make good decisions. Just decide that it's time for you to go. That's a good decision. Don't let anyone feel that make you feel like you have to stay where you don't feel comfortable because there's too much tension. You don't have to subject yourself to that kind of tension to be around anyone, whether it's family or friends. Pick and choose how you want to spend your holidays so that you're not stressed out, because when you have downtime during the holidays and that downtime and you're living with stress in your life, you're going to be dealing with that stress during the holidays, and who needs to do that? The holidays are coming, and hopefully we'll all enjoy them. Let's make certain that we enjoy them by making good decisions on how we're going to spend our holidays and how we're going to deal with people during the holidays. And that way you can ensure that you have a much more enjoyable holiday. This segment of the broadcast is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. So if you're not currently a T-Mobile customer, you may call or text on the T-Mobile call or text line at 267-992-1424. We will move you into our queue so that you may become a T-Mobile customer and experience America's largest and fastest 5G provider at no extra charge. Taxes and fees are included in your bill, and if you auto pay by attaching a credit card to your account. you will receive a discount on your monthly bill at T-Mobile, America's largest and fastest 5G provider at no extra charge. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated you are still searching for purpose in your life. You want to know, how do you know when you have truly found your purpose? So, you know what's really interesting? We can work in our careers and we can enjoy our careers, but until we find purpose, we're always going to have an empty place in our soul. You know, you will only find that purpose in a relationship with God, in a relationship with Christ. You will only find purpose if you search the revelation of God. That's what you have to search for. That God will reveal to you exactly what he wants you to do. But you only have that experience in a relationship with him. There's so many people searching for purpose. You being one of them, you said. But there's so many people searching for purpose because they don't have a relationship with God. They may know him, know who he is, but he doesn't know them because they don't spend any time with him. They don't spend any time meditating. They don't spend any time in prayer. They don't spend enough time in prayer. Let me say that. They don't spend time in the house of God, in the presence of like-minded people of faith who are trying to live out their life of purpose. So until you do that, and I'm speaking from experience, until you do that, there's always going to be an empty place in your soul. You may have some success, you may be enjoying your career, but there's still going to be an empty place in your soul because you don't know what your purpose is. Your purpose isn't just to be a professional. That's the gift and talent that God has given you that allows you to work and make a living for yourself and build a good life for yourself, financially stable and financially secure. All of those things are important, but you need to have a relationship with the Lord in order to find your purpose. Gifts and talents only allow you to do what God has gifted you to do. But purpose is a different matter. Purpose is, I'm driven to live this day to impact the society in which I live. That's purpose. You need the revelation of God to know your purpose. And then you're going to be able to live with purpose. Your purpose is going to be revealed to you in the scripture through the knowledge of God and the revelation of his son, Jesus Christ. And the reason is because Jesus was the example of purpose. We need to know our purpose that was revealed to him by God the Father. It will be revealed to you by God the Father and through his son, Jesus Christ, the example of purpose. What am I living for? Remember, Jesus said, I came not for those who are saved, but for those who are lost. He said, I came that you might have life and that you might have it more abundantly. You can only have that through salvation and eternal life. So he had a purpose. He was the example of purpose, the epitome of purpose. He was purpose wrapped in flesh, but an example to us that there's a purpose for each and every one of us. And then your purpose is manifested, and then it becomes greater because God will reveal more to you regarding your purpose once you find your purpose, once you enter into your purpose. And so as you search for that purpose, look at how your gifts and talents will line up. You know, I encourage everyone to do something charitable or philanthropic. That will open a door for you to begin to identify what your purpose is. Meditate, read the scripture every day and meditate on what you read. God will reveal the purpose to you. You know, that's how we knew how many students we wanted to work to send to college long term. And I'm not talking about even in the midst of, right now we're, you know, in 18 years into our 21-year plan. I'm talking about 30, I'm talking about 28 years and 35 years and 42 years and 49 years from now. You know, I'm talking about the long term, you know, and taking it out to a century. What does it look like after the century? You know, that's purpose. And that God will reveal that to you so that you can hand off to someone else the vision that God has given so that it can be fulfilled, that it can continue. The legacy of God will continue and live on long after the Lord has called us home. But that's part of being purpose-driven. That's part of living a life with purpose and living a life on purpose. You've got to know that you do have a purpose, but it has to be revealed to you by the revelation of God. Then you'll know. You'll know, okay, this is truly my purpose. This is the purpose that God had planned for me from the foundation of the earth, before I was ever removed from between the knees of my mother, from the womb of my mother. This is the purpose that God had for me. And now I'm going to live on purpose, with purpose, driven to fulfill God's will in your life. That should be the goal for all of us. And for all of our listeners and viewers, let's make certain that we are living our life with that intent, intentionally, searching for our purpose. When you know your purpose, fulfill your purpose, and live your purpose until the day the Lord calls you home. God will be gracious. He will be merciful. He will be the provider, the supplier. He will make certain that your purpose is fulfilled in Him. Because our purpose is much greater than ourselves. Our purpose is for the glory of God. And when you enter into the presence of His glory with your purpose will be fulfilled by God, that it will bring Him all the glory. This segment of the broadcast is brought to you by Charles Tyrwhitt, located in London, the UK. They also have stores in New York, Chicago, Washington, D.C., and at the King of Prussia Mall in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. So if you're in any of those areas, stop in at the retail stores. They have everything you could possibly need for a man. Shirts for men, ties for men, suits for men, and accessories. If you're not in any of those areas, you can order from Charles Tyrwhitt at ctshirts.com. And The White Company, located in London, the UK. They also have a store on Fifth Avenue in New York. So if you're in New York, stop in at the retail store. They have everything you could possibly need. Home goods, clothing for men, women, and children. And if you're not in New York, you can order from The White Company at thewhitecompany.com. Both companies will ship and deliver right to your front door in an appropriate period of time. I'm going to be announcing some sales that they'll be having during the holiday season, so stay tuned. Charles Tyrwhitt at ctshirts.com, The White Company at thewhitecompany.com. They both will ship and deliver right to your front door in an appropriate period of time. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated, you have been married for quite a long time, you said. However, You said you are not certain what life would look like if your marriage came to an end, which so many do. So, let me first of all say this. Why are you worried about what might happen? If you were someone else who, in your communication, said to me, I'm having problems in my marriage. I don't know that it's going to last. I don't know that we can coexist together any longer. I don't know what to do. I would say to you, start developing an exit strategy. However, that's not your testimony. You haven't indicated in your communication that there's anything wrong with your marriage, that there's anything going on with your marriage. You've just been married a long time, and you said that if your marriage came to an end, you don't know what life would look like. Well, here's the news flash. First of all, because you didn't indicate that there's nothing going on in your marriage, and as I was prayerful about this communication, I didn't see anything in that secret place of your life that indicated that your marriage is coming to an end. So why are you concerned about what life would look like if your marriage came to an end when your marriage is not coming to an end? Life will look so much better if you just focus on living within your marriage. You wouldn't have to be concerned about what it's going to look like. It's not coming to an end. You're going to be one of the people who live within the 50% who do not get divorced. Your marriage is not going to come to an end. You're going to be able to live out your life in holy matrimony, in the joy of the Lord, and with a great quality of life. It doesn't get any better than that. So why are you worried about something happening? When people worry about something happening that does not happen, listen, life happens to us all. But when you start worrying about something happening that is not happening and has not happened yet and is not going to happen, all you're doing is creating the possibility that you will sabotage what God has created. You will destroy from within, worrying about what might happen. And then the other part to that is, don't allow it to happen. And what I mean by that is just simply get up every day with a smile on your face, with the joy of the Lord in your heart and in your mind, and say, today is going to be another great day. It is going to be a great day in my life. It is going to be a great day in my marriage. It's going to be a great day for my family. And we're going to live in harmony and peace for the rest of our days. That's all. That you simply just refuse to be counted in that number of people who get divorced. You're not going to be a statistic. You're not going to be in that percentage of approximately 50% who get divorced. You just simply refuse to get divorced. There's no abuse. There's no drama going on. There's no nothing. Those are the two factors that we don't want to live with. You know, challenges, they come and go, ebbs and flows. Difficulties may arise from time to time. Trust God that that too shall pass, and you'll get through it. And trust God that you'll just live out your lives in harmony, peace, and joy. This segment of the broadcast has been brought to you by Comcast Business. We all need to be more effective and efficient in business. Comcast Business will give you the opportunity to do just that. Call Eunice at 603-222-7706. Your code is Pastor Pope. And with a qualifying gig bundle, you will receive up to an $800 prepaid Visa gift card. Today's Daily Divine Direction broadcast has been brought to you by Fiji Water. A taste of paradise will be delivered right to your front door when you subscribe for delivery, and you'll save money at FijiWater.com. This is not just ordinary water. This is Earth's finest water at FijiWater.com. May God bless you today. May God keep his face turned towards you. May God give you peace that surpasses